Welcome back, guys. In this video we will model this cool vase right here. It might seem a bit complicated at first, but I assure you it's going to be pretty easy by watching this tutorial. First we have to set our working units. The units that we set depend on the size of our projects. For example, if you model a ring, you'll want to work in millimeters. For modeling furniture, it's better to use centimeters or millimeters, and for modeling buildings we use meters. So we go to Customize, Unit Setup, and at the Display Unit Scale, where at first you will see that the generic setting is selected, we will select metric instead and then choose centimeters. Now when we go to create a box, for example, you will see that each of these dimensions has centimeters near it. Another useful trick that helps us with our workflow is to open the reference photo directly in 3ds Max instead of opening it in our photo viewer and struggling to open and reopen it, zoom in and zoom out, and do all those annoying moves every time you want to look at it. You can find the image on our Instagram profile at the link in the description of this video. Okay, so we go to our image and right click, Properties, Details, and we have to look at the size of the image. It's 320 with 400. So we go create a plane and give it these dimensions. Then we drag and drop our image on the plane and untick real world map size. Then we rotate and move our image so that it stays up. Now we need to think a bit of what this vase actually is for our software. Basically, it's a twisted box. So we will create a box and then right click to exit the box creating tool, and then we will modify its dimensions to 20 with 20 with 120. It doesn't really bother me if the image is bigger than the actual size of the object, but you can go ahead and rescale it to be closer to the real size. Also, let's make sure that the object is in the middle of the scene by selecting it and right-clicking on the little arrows of every axis to set it to 0. This is useful because if the object is too far away from the center of the scene, your navigation will bug so much, trust me. I'm also gonna move my image to have the x-axis in the middle just to center it perfectly behind the object. Now we get to the twisting. Twisting an object is done by using the modifying tool. I will name my object Vase. And now click on modifier list and search for the twist option. Don't get scared because there are a lot of options, because we will teach you how to use only the ones you need, and plus most of them are for animations, which we won't do in this course. You can find twist by scrolling through all of them alphabetically, or you can type twist and press enter. Now this is added above our project, and you can think of it as a new layer over your object. If you play with this up and down, you can see how it's twisting the box. We will set the degree to -180. Now our object doesn't really look like in the photo because it needs more details added to it. So we will go back to box and set the height segments to 40, which I think it's enough. If we go to Twist again and look over these settings that it has, we find the bias option. This one twists the object according to where you want it to be concentrated on your object, but we won't work with it now. On twist axis, we can select which axis we want it to be twisted on, but we want it on Z for now. Then we have the limit effect option. If we click it, it will put the twist effect between 0 and 0, but if I type 60, it will do it for half of the object, and if I type 120, it will do it for the whole object, and so on. I will just untick it for now. You can see that this vase is a bit more tight at the top. We can achieve this by going to Taper Modifier. We have Amount, and we will also put a bit of a curve on it because it's a bit bigger in the middle. Then we observe that in the downside it is a bit tighter as well. So what we want to do is apply another taper effect, but the effect is still applying to the upper side of the vase because that's how this cage that determines where the effect is positioned. This cage is also called a gizmo. I will select the gizmo from under the taper effect and go to rotate. I want to put it under the vase, so I will type -180 on the x-axis and then move it a bit up as much as I want so that it looks like in the picture, and then maybe just play with the amounts a bit more. Tip from us: be careful with the order of the modifiers because it can cause different effects based on that order. You can also close and open every modifier to see the difference that it makes. I recommend you to save your project now if you didn't do it before. And now we will convert the object to an editable poly by right-clicking, going to Convert to Editable Poly. By using Editable Poly, we can move all the sub-elements of an object. For example, selecting any vertex that we want and moving it, selecting any edge and moving it, and you can also scale or rotate or do whatever you need. For now, we will go to Polygon, select this one and delete it. Now we see that the object is empty inside and it also has no thickness. So if I go to Border, I can select this top edge of the vase. And we lastly have the element, which selects the whole object. So the object is now empty inside, which is the way that we need it to be, but it also doesn't have any thickness. This is why we will apply another modifier over the editable poly, which is called shell. Enter, and I have inner amount and outer amount. I will leave it to something like this. If I am on the editable poly and I have this show and result unticked, it won't show what the shell modifier is doing to my object, so I always want to have it ticked. Also, you can see that now I can select the vertex of the shell, and I can only select the ones from the original shape of the object. So if I want to remap my whole object with vertices again, this means that I have to right-click the object and convert it once more to editable poly. What this does is basically merging the shell modifier with my editable object to have a whole new object that I can model however I want. If you're up for a little homework, you can go on our Instagram and save our latest post about this other vase shape that you can model by yourself. If you're proud of your design, post it on your Insta story and mention them content to be featured on our account. Also, check us out on Instagram and Facebook for the latest updates on what we're gonna do next.